morning. Today, we take time to remember the events of September 11th, 2001. When we reflect on those terrible events 23 years ago, we remember our nation's sorrow and our collective loss. We also remember the dedication and commitment of our first responders and emergency volunteer workers. In our darkest hours, many of these brave souls exemplified our brightest spirits. Today, we acknowledge Patriot Day. It is important that we reflect on both the tragedy of that day and on the triumph of our collective efforts to come together as a nation. We celebrate our resolve to rebuild and continue to live our lives in a way that honors the efforts of the individuals who sacrificed everything on that day. I thank you for your attention, and now our band will perform the Star-Spangled Banner. We'd like to take a moment to say the Pledge of Allegiance together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now we'll take a moment of silence with respect for all those who've died on 9/11, Iraq, Afghanistan, and other places throughout the world. I'd now like to introduce Casey Huie, a former Northeast student, as he'll share his reflections on the day.
Hi everyone. My name is Casey Huie. I am a senior at Liberty High School, and I am an athlete on the football team, the soccer team, and track team, and a member of the Grenadier Band and the orchestra. I am also a member of the National Honor Society. When the attacks on September 11th, 2001 happened, I wasn't born yet. I have studied it in school, saw videos online, read books about it, but I'm still not capable of fully understanding the fear and emotions of that tragedy-filled day 23 years ago. Even though I cannot do that, I can relate to the feeling of that day through another experience. For those of you who are not familiar, in 2013, the Boston Marathon was the site of a terrorist bombing that killed 3 people, with 2 more deaths attributed to the attacks, and injured 281 others. My Aunt Lisa was running that marathon. Gladly, she finished the race before the bombs went off. My family and I were there to watch her. I do not remember much from the day, given I was 5, but I do remember the feeling of the shocks of the bombs to the ground, as we were only about 2 blocks away. I remember the fear, how unbelievably scared my family and I were, walking for miles with subways shut down, no taxis, and bad cell reception. People who knew from home were seeing the news and calling, but we still had very little clue to what was happening. I remember my mother comforting me later that night in the hotel, as I had no idea what was happening. I can only imagine that is a fraction of what the people, the children, felt as they saw the attacks on September 11th unfold. The fear of not knowing what is happening, not being able to contact family and friends, and not knowing that if the people you love are safe. I hear stories all the time about the people that worked in the World Trade Center and overslept and now are alive because of it. If my aunt had a slightly worse race that day, we might have been right near the bombs, and who knows what could have happened. Before September 11th, no one expected that there could be an attack this big on our nation. We do things so much differently, with airport security and homeland security being so much bigger than ever. But it's not just physical things that have changed. We have learned so much more about the people we love and the things we do. Here at Northeast, you have an acronym in place called the Northeast Proud Initiative. Pride, respect, opportunity, unity, and dedication. Take pride in what you do, because what you do is what you love. Respect each other, because you never know what another person has gone through. Take all of the opportunities you receive, because you never know what could happen later on. Be unified with your classmates throughout this day and throughout this year. And finally, dedicate yourself to your schoolwork, your sports, your music, because those are the things that are important. Thank you.
Thank you, Casey. I'd also like to recognize Brady Carvajal and ELLIE RUMBALSKI, our bagpipers from Liberty. Thank you for coming down, making this day special. I'd like to thank you all for coming together today to respect the remembrance of September 11th. Today's weather is similar to that day 23 years ago. And when I look out at the field, I see a group of young students who understand the importance of remembrance and unity. I see students who are respectful. I see students who come together. As we reflect on the events of that day, I want us to remember the ideals that we founded our country on. And that is, we welcome all, we support all, we help all. As you go about your day, I want you to remember those ideals here at Northeast. We support each and every student that walks in our hall. We respect each and every student that walks in our hall. For us and by us. That's what we do. That's the strength of the hive. We look out for each other. So as you go back today, I'm going to ask that you follow with your teachers and you return respectfully, and you have a great day. Teachers, if you please lead the students off the field. We'll start here with our 6th grade.